love it.
Well,
Love
on
it.
that note of booing Santa Claus, I've got very close to the top of the hour. Why don't we get a 1 minute head start and we'll just get rolling? We'll just start
Let's
doing
get
it.
going. Let's go. Let's
All
go.
right.
Let's share
So
some really cool content, and a lot of it that people, some people were on last week, but they will not have seen this content. So
that's
yeah,
right. So
it's cool.
so Mark and I were saying, should we tell people that there may be one or two slides that repeat from last week? Because this is actually Summer Sales Seminar Part 2, 5 big sales mistakes that kill your marketing, prospecting, and closing results, and what to do instead. So like with any good Part 2, we're going to echo and reinforce and reiterate some things from Part 1 in case you missed Part 1 or in case you just had some kind of brain aneurysm and you were not paying attention last week. But be assured, this program is new and fresh and different. If you were on with us last week, this is Part 2, The Revenge. The Revenge. So, you are in the right place. If you're saying to yourself, why don't more people know about me and my company? Clients and customers love us, but to new prospects, we're invisible. I'm on the revenue roller coaster, that famous revenue roller coaster with sales pros. Isn't there a more systematic way to market and sell more consistently? Mark, why don't you take these?
Hey, well, you know what? You're in the right place because there are really so many ways to reach clients, and we're going to talk about that. Should I use social media? Oh, we're going to spend some time talking about that. I'm tired of being the best kept secret in my industry. What can I do to change that? And you know what? I feel like I have enough leads, but I'm just not closing more sales. That's why you're here. That's why you're here on this one. Take the next one, David.
That's why you're here, people. So here's the deal. You could be a brand new seller. You could be a seasoned pro with 20, 25 years experience, anywhere in between. It does not matter where you are on your professional selling and marketing journey. We will definitely have something on this masterclass to help you. So here's the game plan. Right off the top, we were talking about Philadelphia sports. We were talking about sports sadness. Here's the game plan. Here's the map. Why you're confused, why you're not selling more, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. Prospecting mistakes, follow-up mistakes, pricing mistakes, and closing mistakes. Oh my gosh, if we could just solve these 5 things, you would be unlocked, unblocked, unleashed, and unstoppable. And then we're going to talk about some next steps that Mark and I have put our heads together to help you make it happen. And massive Q&A at the end. Mark, small Q&A or massive Q&A?
Massive Q&A because we stay until there are fewer of you than there are of us.
Yeah, we're going to hang out here until we outnumber you. So have your sales questions ready. Anything about prospecting, pricing, marketing, selling, negotiating, closing the deal, whatever you need, we're here to help you. Also, hang out till the end. We've got some super useful gifts for people that are willing to hang out till the bitter end. And that's just a surprise. We'll leave that sort of sit as it is. Here's where we came from. Like everybody on this call, this has not always been easy. Mark didn't have this figured out. I certainly didn't have this figured out. We'll start with me because, good, bad, and ugly. I'm mainly bad and ugly, and Mark brings the good to the situation here. Started my business in 2002, so 15 years ago. Totally sucked at marketing, which is kind of funny because I'm the marketing guy today, and I could not sell my way out of a paper bag. I could not close a door. I didn't seek help. That was my biggest mistake. I didn't seek mentorship. I didn't seek coaching. I thought I could figure it out on my own. And guess what? I couldn't, and I didn't. So I had 3 years of needless failure and struggle. Now, if that's not a sob story enough, let's turn to Mark.
Well, thank you for my sob story. But you know what? There's really a sob story I didn't put in the slide. And that's the fact that I got into sales only because of the Seattle Police Department. Whoa. Yeah, that is, I was so pathetic. I could not sell. And it wasn't until the Seattle Police Department gave me so many speeding tickets that I had to get a job that supplied me with a company car that I got into sales. So believe me, we are truly the good, the bad, and the ugly. But hey, we figured it out, haven't we?
We
I,
have.
I think I think we've done a pretty good job. We got some good books along the way too, haven't we?
Yes, we have. And we'll talk about those books in a moment. So let's talk about the 5 most common stuck points, right? Where are you? Because again, Mark and I are going to customize and tailor, and we've got some hot seats and some labs and all kinds of fun things cooking up here for you. 5 stuck points. Number 1, I don't know where to begin with your sales and selling and marketing game plan. Number 2, problem on the front end. right? Top of the funnel, I need more prospects to talk to. That's problem number 2. Number 3, I have no problem getting first meetings. Man, I can't get a second meeting. I can't get a return phone call. I can't get a return email. I can't get a pulse on LinkedIn. I can't get these people. I'm just not saying the right thing in the right way to get enough follow-up. I need to charge and earn more money. So number 4, price pressure, negotiating, caving, commodity problem. Number 5, I take them right to the finish line and I can't get the commitment. I can't close the deal. I can't make the sale. I can't get the order. 5 problems. Don't know where to begin. Prospecting, follow up, dollar signs with the money, or closing. Pop quiz time, guys. Go to the question box. Which one is the biggest stuck point for you? Where are you stuck the most? I'll bring this back on the screen so you can see it, but go to the question box, type in either 1 or the word begin, either 2 or the word prospects, either 3 or the word follow up, either 4 or the dollar signs, either the number 5 or the word close. And let's diagnose this right now so Mark and I can help you. We're going to help you today. We're going to help you later on. Let's see where people are stuck with this. Is it the beginning? Is it more people to talk to? Follow-up meetings, pricing and negotiating, high profit pricing specifically, and closing the deal. So Mark, where are people? Where are they?
Well, this is interesting, but a lot of people are right up there at the top. It really seems to be 2 and 3 tend to be the big ones, and really I'd say 2 is kind of trending at the top. We have 1 or 2 5s. Really, it's a couple number 1s, but it's 2s.
Yeah.
It's 2.
Prospecting. Well, and Mark, we're going to talk later about there's a direct connect between prospecting on the front end and closing on the back end, right?
There is a direct correlation. There sure is.
Correlation. So let's tackle all 5 of these. You guys are here for the 5 deadly mistakes. Here's deadly mistake number 1. You're confused. You're stuck. Of course you are. There is so much partial information, misinformation, wrong information out there about marketing, sales, and business development for sales professionals and entrepreneurs. Let's look at some of this advice. Oh my God, you have to be on Twitter. Well, Mark Hunter's on Twitter. David Newman's on Twitter. They're pretty successful. I guess I have to be on Twitter. No, it's not Twitter. It's all about cold calling. Dialing for dollars, work the phones, pick up the phone, cold call your brains out. No. You have to blog, my friends. Mark has an awesome blog. Newman has a dormant blog. They're both successful, but I'm clearly with no blog, you're not going to get anywhere. Hang on, guys. It's actually about shaking hands and kissing babies. Networking? Of course sales pros need networking. No. It's not networking, Mark. That's crazy talk. It's Facebook Live. It's live streaming. It's video. Do you see where this is going? Do you see where this craziness is going? So let's unpack this right now. When Mark and I work with people, this is the biggest aha moment. It is the ability to separate the 4 levels of marketing and really see them for what they are. Here's the 4 levels. This is going to clarify every single strategy and tactic and initiative that you have in your professional selling and marketing and entrepreneurial business from now on. 4 levels. Level 1 is strategy. Level 2 is then a set of tactics to implement that strategy. Number 3 is initiatives or campaigns that go on your calendar so that you can actually have verb, noun, date accountability for doing the tactics. And then the day-to-day, you wake up, it is Tuesday, it is August the 15th. You're looking at your calendar, you're looking at your appointments, you're looking at your prospecting plan. What are the action steps I need to take today? So let's say that your cat's on Twitter. Here is Sockington the cat. Sockington probably has more Twitter followers than Mark and me combined. So you come across some guy who makes a big splash on Twitter and it's like, oh my gosh, if you're not on Twitter as a sales professional, you're totally missing out. You're like, okay, let's unpack that. Stop the craziness, put a pin in it. Where would this fit in our framework? Strategy, it's an internet marketing strategy, right? Twitter is an internet marketing. We're online, we're on the web. The tactic under internet marketing Because internet marketing includes a lot of things that are not social media. It includes your website. It includes search engine optimization. It includes video. It includes content marketing and blogging. This is the social media set of tactics. Under that is an initiative that if you choose to go this route, and Mark and I help people choose and select strategies, tactics, initiatives, and action steps all day long. We'll tell you more about that later. But if you decide this is right for you, if we decide this is a good use of your time, it's start using Twitter. The action step, notice, is in verb, noun, date format. Set up 20 tweets in Hootsuite by Friday. Everything that we do in marketing and sales and professional business development, if you want to get it done, if you want to build momentum, if you want to build success, it needs to be in verb, noun, date format. Let me go back and explain that. The verb is set up. The noun is 20 tweets in Hootsuite. The date is by Friday, right? Follow 10 influencers in my target market by Monday. Follow is the verb. 10 influencers is the noun. 10 influencers, I'm sorry, not 10 influencers, 10, well, it could be influencers, it could be decision makers, it could be prospects. By Monday is the date. So just taking this learning right here, that everything on your marketing calendar and sales calendar and follow-up and appointment setting and closing needs to be built on the foundation of verb, noun, date, that should be a game changer for you right there. That should be a game changer for you right there. Mark, hit us on prospecting.
Well, number 2, prospecting mistakes. Not enough prospecting activity, including zero. Yes, there are a lot of people out there that are really doing zero prospect. Spray and pray is not a prospecting plan. Everyone's not a prospect. No idea how to open the first 10 seconds of a phone call. What do I do with voicemail? What do I do with email? What do I do with LinkedIn? I've got no clue what to say and send to open the door. This is the big challenge. So, hey, okay, now let's get into this thing. It's not the quantity of leads, it's the quality that counts. What you need to be doing is you need to be segmenting your leads. Here's what you got to do right out of the chute. What is the outcome that you provide your customers? What are the outcomes? And you segment your leads by the outcome. You qualify your leads. David's going to share with you a really good example here in a bit, where the idea is that you want to qualify quickly because you can't afford to have suspects in your pipeline. And then this fourth piece here, engage each prospect with 2 to 3 communication vehicles. Whoa, what do we mean by that? Well, 2 to 3 communication vehicles. It might be email, it might be the phone, it might be LinkedIn. It might be the phone, it might be LinkedIn, it might be Facebook, it might be, in other words, what I want to do is I want to engage each prospect. Why is this important? Because they got to be able to see you when they're ready to see you.
Yeah, absolutely right.
And because really, what does this come down to? The era of having a single prospecting process is dead. I can't sit there, and I'm very aggressive on LinkedIn. But I can't use LinkedIn as my only prospecting tool. It just doesn't work. I've got to have multiple prospecting processes. Now, here's the whole problem. Many of you have got pipelines that look kind of like this next slide coming up here in a second. What does it look like? It's the one on the left. It's a sewer line, because what you've got is you've got a quantity of, you've got all these names, you got all these people you're connected to and all these different things. No, it's not about that. What you want to have is you want to have quality. My whole objective is to really have fewer prospects. And what I'm all about is I'm saying, you can be on my radar screen, but I'm not going to spend any time with you until I know that there is a reason for you to want to do business with me. And what this does is this flips on end the whole idea about having a wide funnel. It's not about having a wide funnel. And because when I have a wide funnel, and if David will flip that slide there, you can get this great, there it is. It's not about having a wide funnel. I want to have just the opposite. What I want to have is I want to have a narrow funnel. Now, what do I mean by narrow funnel? I want to be able to, I may have a lot of names, I may have a lot of connections, but when I engage with you, I'm going to move you through, I'm going to qualify you and move you through very quickly. When I do that, what I do is I'm actually doing you a favor and I'm doing myself a favor because I'm using my time far more efficiently. Let me give you a couple of examples. Okay, let's talk about email because email is a really common tool that people love to use. Okay, now email is not the prospecting tool, it is one prospecting tool. First of all, you've got to engage with an engaging subject line and the first sentence. In other words, if your subject line and first sentence starts off by saying, I'm just checking in or following up to see, no, sorry, it's got to be engaging. I've got an example I'll share with you here in just a second. Your prospecting email, no more than 4 to 6 sentences, 2 to 3 paragraphs, and double space between the paragraphs. No attachments, no images, because you got to make it very, very clean. A clear call to action. This is one of the biggest things. Here's one of the biggest things that this will help you generate more prospects than any other single activity from email. Don't ask people to email you back. Ask people to call you. Now, they may very well email you, but make it where maybe they will call you back. Because really what I want to do is I want to have as my objective to engage and respond to you. I want to engage you, have you respond to me. This way I can respond to you and we engage and we're off and running. Now, let me share with you an example here on this next one. So this might be somebody that, we'll say that you do work in any kind of a labor, any kind of an HR thing. Subject line. Shortage of labor forecast. Is that short, tight? Does that pull? Yeah, that does. Notice new numbers show less people looking for work in the fourth quarter. That's what's going to appear because think about this. Most people view email on their smartphone. It means they're only seeing the first sentence. See, then forecasted to be even worse in 18. Projections are labor rate. Whoa. Then second paragraph. Then I introduce myself. I'm Mark Hunter and I help companies like yours solve the labor issue. You see what I've done here? I've really flipped this around because if I don't engage you quickly, you're going to delete it. And I say, thank you, Ron. I'm looking forward to sharing with you a little more meat. That okay, I've done this with other people. You can call me at. Notice I'm not saying to email back. I'm saying to call. This is very, very critical. If they want to email you, they will. Okay, but I want to try to encourage them to be able to call me back. David, you got a great example.
Well, before we get to that, let me just share what as the brilliance, many aspects of brilliance on this. I'm on my smartphone. Subject line, shortage of labor forecasted. First line, again, like Mark said, that's all that's visible. New numbers show less people looking for work in the fourth quarter. Forecasted to be even worse in 18. This sounds like an expert. This is an email coming from an expert. It's an email coming from a trusted advisor. This could be a news brief from one of the sources that they already read, recognize, and respect. Now, it's not. It's coming from a salesperson from a staffing firm or a recruiting company, a HR consulting firm. But notice that the approach and the tone and the feel is of an expert and a trusted advisor and not a seller.
And that is the biggest thing that people get wrong in terms of prospecting emails.
Yeah. So just wanted to give you credit for your brilliance once again. Let me tell you a quick story out of my corporate background. I used to work in large enterprise software, Oracle, PeopleSoft, that kind of thing. I wasn't a salesperson, but I sat next to the salespeople. So I was a consultant, I was a trainer, I was an in-house consultant and implementation consultant. But my colleague, whose name was Dave Colopy, when we were in the office and I had the privilege of sitting next to him, it was like a sales masterclass. Dave would call hand-selected leads very high up, very serious people, Fortune 1000 chief information officers, CIOs, and chief technology officers. His opening question, after a 5-second introduction of his name and company, here's what it sounded like. Hey, Bob, Dave Colopy from PeopleSoft. Boom, that's it. Hey, Bob, Dave Colopy from PeopleSoft. I don't know if you're currently evaluating options for enterprise software, but if you are, I can offer you some insights and recommendations in less than 15 minutes to help you make a better decision whether that's with us or not. is ERP software on your agenda for this year? Question mark, shut your mouth, listen. When they said, no, Dave, it's really not, he would gracefully hang up the phone. He would say, totally understand. Let me send you my contact information and a link to an article that might be helpful to you should you decide to revisit this in the future. Great speaking with you. Have a nice day. Graceful exit, quick drop of a non-prospect. If they said yes, ERP software is on your agenda for next year, he was in the door with valuable information that they wanted to get their hands on, whether they were considering PeopleSoft or not, and whether they ended up ultimately buying PeopleSoft or not. Here's why. Dave knew that if they weren't already considering a multi-$100,000, probably more like multi-couple of $1,000,000 implementation, a cold call from a stranger was not going to change their mind. So this is a qualifying, filtering, and sorting question that Dave wanted to spend 100% of his selling time with real prospects, and as Mark said, not with suspects, no praying, no hoping, and no guessing.
Hey, let me jump in and add a couple things there, because there was something very key about what you just said.
Sure.
And that is, they were already predisposed to probably be making a change. And this is one of the key things that you have to understand in your sales and marketing messaging. Are you talking about having to educate the marketplace, or are you just getting them to switch? And that's a very critical distinction in terms of how your marketing message is and how your sales focus is going to be.
Totally right. Totally spot on. So follow-up mistakes. Let's talk about follow-up mistakes. Main source of follow-up mistakes is you're not talking to the right people in the first place, or you're not connecting with the high probability buyers that Mark just talked about and that I just talked about that you know you can help. Sometimes it's about overly pushing and striving, peddler positioning, vendor positioning instead of that trusted advisor positioning, and having that, hey, just checking in that Mark was talking about, zero value type of follow-up calls, zero value type of emails. So if you want to drive the BMW, you have to master the GNW. The GNW is what I call the get it, need it, want it factor. And this is a 7-step spectrum from a terrible prospect to an awesome prospect, right? When you can't even figure out what that person is selling, I don't get it. Now you understand it. You go, okay, well, that's great. I don't need it. I get it and I need it. And so now that's the red zone. That's like where you're dead. The yellow light is, yeah, we don't want to do that right now. Yeah, it seems a little inconvenient. Kind of like flossing your teeth, right? Or, okay, now hang on the positive side now, positive side of yellow. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I think that's something that might be relevant. Uh-oh, we need it. This becomes important now. And what's more important than something that you need is something that you want. What's the ultimate quickest sale you're ever going to make? When someone wants it and they want it urgently. So now more than ever in your positioning, in your messaging, in your articulation, in your distinction, this is what we call the 7-level GNW plus U spectrum. Very sophisticated. Mark and I worked on this for decades together, secretly, privately. But that's the deal, guys. You need to have a sales articulation where your prospects are more than likely in 30 to 45 seconds, get it, need it, want it, and trigger some sort of sense of urgency that this needs to happen now more than ever.
Now, think about that for a moment, because not all leads are created equal. What was David talking about? David was talking about a process that allows the customer to tell you where they need to go. Because when the customer says there's a need, that's boom, that's where you get there. Now, how do you go about doing this? Well, this is a little concept that I love. It's C plus C equals C equals O equals P. Now, what do we mean by this? Okay, continuity. Think about what David just shared with you, the GNW. What is that about? It's about creating this continuity and competence to create a level of confidence. Let's break this down. Continuity. I'm probably going to have to message you half a dozen times. This is the marketing stuff. This is the sales stuff. This is all things, but they've got to be able to see me and understand who I am. Now, along the way, what are they doing? They're beginning to understand that I'm competent. Remember that email I shared with you? Remember the other pieces that David shared with you? It's about allowing them, the prospect, to see me as being competent. Now, you know what's happening? There's a level of confidence that's being created. I have to create a level of confidence in my prospects. But you know what's very interesting? Confidence goes both ways. As you, the prospect, become confident in me, I become confident in you. Now, what does that do? That allows a whole level of truth to open up. That, in turn, creates the opportunity. The opportunity is now, what was David talking about in that GNU? Yes, bingo, bingo, bingo. Because now I get to profit. Profit is not a dirty word. I hear too many salespeople say, "Well, I don't want to talk about price. I don't want to talk about that." No, profit is a wonderful word because it doesn't come out until there's an opportunity, until there's a level of confidence. Now, let's jump to some follow-up magic. Here's some really cool ways. So we'll say that you've had that initial phone call with somebody, and then that first phone call you had was kind of an interruption. They weren't really expecting it. So you had to get a time scheduled to call them back and set them up. You always lead off with "Hey, Ron, last time we talked, you mentioned this." Now, what happens when you immediately lead off by sharing with them what you heard them say, what you heard them tell you in the previous call? That just says, wow, this person listens. They actually care about what I had to say. That's how you start off every follow-up phone call. Now, ask a follow-up question. Oh, this is key. Whenever the prospect shares with you any piece of information, any piece, you always ask them a follow-up question on it. I always say it's the second comment that is always going to become the most valuable comment. Because the first comment is kind of shallow. The second comment gets me deep. And all I'm doing is I'm sitting there and I'm asking you questions. You see, this is what's interesting. People sit there and say, "Well, I know that customer's got a need or no, they don't have a need or a pain until you hear it from their mouth." My whole objective is I want you to share with me that it's a need or a pain. Now I've got the point where I can provide you with the solution that you're looking for.
And
David, jump into number
the
4.
mistake a lot of people make, Mark, is they try and put words into the prospect's mouth, and that always drives a wedge into the relationship, and that's where things go off the rails.
Well, that's and it's so that's a big problem you're having, right? No, don't say, "Is that a big problem you're having?" So talk to me about the problem you're having. You see what I'm doing is I'm saying, talk to me. I want you to just share with me. I want to ask as few yes or no closed questions as possible. The more you talk as the prospect or as the customer, what's very interesting is the more brilliant you'll think I am. And I'm just sitting there listening. You're gonna recognize me for my brilliance, not because of the statements I make, but because of the questions I ask. That's how I engage. That's how I really get them understanding. I need you. I need you. I have to have you. And what does that allow them to do? They have more confidence in me. And not only do they have more confidence in me, but wow, the size of the opportunity skyrockets.
Pricing, alert, danger, money's involved here, guys. Pricing mistakes that will kill your results. Now, again, we're going to talk about this here in a couple minutes. My friend and colleague, Mark Hunter, author of High Profit Selling, High Profit Prospecting. This is the guy who does not want you to cut your price. This is the guy who does not want you to be discounting and bargaining and negotiating right up front before you even make contact with the prospect. So how many times do you make this pricing mistake? Discount first mentality. Well, the regular price is this, and you have that little weird tone in your voice. well, our pricing is this, but I'm willing to work with you. And like they haven't even understood what the impact is. And the first thing out of your mouth is you're waffling on the price that you don't believe in. Second problem, your price is too low to begin with. You're doing commodity pricing for commodity services and products. No wonder that you're being judged on price, because you're judging yourself on price when you come in. You remember in part one, when Mark said that it's very hard to turn a Walmart shopper into a Nordstrom's customer? Well, obviously, you show up on the scene with Walmart pricing, you're dead on day one, on square one. Problem number 3, caving on price too soon and too often. And I believe it was Jim Rohn. I wish I could attribute this to somebody, but I think it was Jim Rohn who simply said, nobody will value your products and services higher than you do. So if you're already in the bargain basement, guess what? Your clients will not be premium. If you're already living in Walmart, your clients will not be Nordstrom. If you think that you're selling Timex, no one's going to pay you Rolex prices. So the pricing is the mindset, right? The mindset that I have a high value offer, high value products, high value services. The confidence that Mark talked about with that equation, that you can deliver the outcomes that they just said that they wanted when you did your probing and your questioning and your deep dive investigative sales process. That's what's going to support high profit pricing. So, Mark, let's ask him this tough question. What do you think?
Oh, let's go for it.
All right. Truth-telling time. How much money has caving on price actually cost you in your business? Just type in a number, could be a ballpark number, type in the question box. Here's all the symptoms, all the problems. We're going to go back and review. How much has a discount first mentality cost you? How much has underpricing to begin with cost you? When it comes time to negotiate, when it comes time to close the deal, caving on price. Well, it's $5,000. Can you do it for $1,500? Well, it's $20,000. Can you do it for $8,000? How much has undervaluing your own business, your own products, your own services, your own value? How much has undervaluing cost you? How much has not having the right mindset, not having the right confidence? All these are the pricing mistakes. We're going to fix it now, but I just want to get a size and scope of the problem. Just put a ballpark number in there. 5,000, 20,000, millions, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. What is it?
We're hearing tens of thousands. Too much. 50,000. Too much. Several $1,000s. Tens of thousands. 50K plus or minus 10%. It's all over the place. We do not, somebody writes, we do not cave on price. I love it. Somebody writes, I don't do discounts. I love it. I love it.
There
Thank you.
Go.
50,000, 50,000, tens of thousands, 20%, hundreds. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
people.
It's a problem. And I think you guys need Mark Hunter to fix this problem.
Hey, here's the easiest way to fix it. Match price with time to create more value. Hey, right now we're in the month of August, and a lot of people on this call are probably in consulting and service type businesses, and you're talking to somebody and they might be, well, I just don't know if I can afford it. Well, simply you sit there and say, hey, how big of an issue is this going to be for you in 18? And you get them to actually share with you a price. And then you get to come back and get to say, well, wow, that's $300,000, $500,000. So if we don't solve this today, it's going to cost you $300,000. And then what you're doing is you're now saying, hey, I've got to move on this now because I'm taking time and matching it to money. When I can match price with time, I create more value. People will sit there and say, your price is too high. Nah, it's over a relative time. Oh, I love this picture. I love this picture. Because really, think about it. Value is what the other person views, not what you view. Now, I took this picture. I'm standing behind some people, at the Louvre, looking at the Mona Lisa. And I'm sorry, I'm not really into art. But I was watching some people just stand there, fixed. They were fixated because they saw tremendous value in this picture. Me? I hate to say it, I saw a placemat taped to the wall. You see, really what it came down to was I wasn't seeing the value, you see. Now, if some artisan had stood next to me and explained all the things, I probably would have seen more value. See, this is the role we have in sales. But I'm not going to understand that value until I say what the value is. Hey, let's get into some real cool pricing options. I love this. I'm going to share with you 3 quick ways. 3-tier option, time, money at a time, and power of silence. 3-tier. I love when I put a price out on the table. I'm going to give you 3 options. I'm going to give you the high-priced option. And I'm going to let you barf all over it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the middle level. And what's going to be very interesting is because you saw the high tier, you go, whoa, that's really expensive. But then you saw the middle. Oh, well, that's the one I want. And yet what's funny is if you had started off with the middle tier, they would have tried to take you down on price. Then you have in your back pocket, you have the 3rd tier, the lowest tier. Now, you don't pull that out unless you need to, but it's the highest margin one, you see. So it gives you 3 options. This really gives you a lot of comfort when you're putting them on the table because you're allowing the customer to make the decision. Tie money to time. I love time. Just like I was talking about before, hey, how much is this problem going to cost you? So this problem is worth $80,000 a month or $100,000 a month or whatever it might be. And you're going to say, great, boom. Now they know exactly where they're going to be, and I'm tying money to time. And the 3rd one, power of silence. Don't sit there and say, well, my price is $300. What do you think? What do you think of that? Well, what's that exactly say? It means you're willing to make a discount. When you put the price on the table, you are silent. You don't say a thing. Because you know what? There's nothing for you to say. They take the price or they don't. We do not discount. David.
Mic drop, baby. There it was. All right, closing mistakes. Man, this hurts. You know why? Because you've done all this work. You've done all this relationship building. You are at the finish line. And then somehow, some way, you think that asking for the sale, closing the deal, asking for the order, that's somehow impolite. You know what? When you have a beautiful 7-course meal and the waiter comes up to you at the end and says, would you like coffee? Would you like dessert? Oh, how rude. Oh, how, I can't believe, can you believe this? He asked us if we want coffee and we want dessert. You would be missing out if he didn't ask, would you like coffee? Would you like dessert? Your prospect is missing out if you're not giving them the opportunity to invest in your products and services and programs. So not asking for the order, big mistake. Not enforcing a clear next step on their calendar. So they're expecting to take some action. They're holding up their end of the commitment, and you're not constantly chasing and hounding and wondering when the next contact with that prospect is coming in. Number 3, endless waiting. I call this the black hole or DPS, disappearing prospect syndrome. Oh yeah, I sent them a proposal 5 weeks ago, and we're still waiting for them to make a decision. Well, guess what? You didn't do mistake number 2, not enforcing a clear next step on their calendar. That's why you're constantly waiting and hoping and wishing and praying. And the only thing worse than hoping, wishing, and praying is using old school strong arm tactics and closing techniques that stopped working decades ago and that caused you discomfort and that caused the prospect discomfort. So please don't make those closing mistakes. Those are suicidal. And again, I wish I knew where I first heard this, but I think it's brilliant. It's not mine. Closing problems are actually opening problems, meaning that if you can't seal the deal, you did not probe enough. You didn't dig. You didn't do what Mark just recommended, to always follow up with a question, always peel the onion, always illuminate the underlying ROI and value and the radiant consequences of the problem that they're having. Or maybe you were simply too polite and you were too deferential in the sales process and you refused to get real. You refused to get real. You refused to ask the hard questions. You refused to really engage in the underlying issues, and you kept the sales conversation very surface, like a guppy, right? Very surface, very polite, very nicey nice. And so you have non-urgent, non-important positioning. You're coming across like a nice to have, not a have to have. And then my 2 favorites is when they say, yeah, we'll get back to you. Don't call us, we'll call you. We'll get back to you, and they don't. Or what's even worse is when they say send a proposal and they're totally unqualified and you do. And because that goes into a disappearing prospect syndrome as well, that means all of these closing problems means that from the beginning, from the very opening of the relationship, you had weak relevance, weak rapport, and a low level of respect. Now that hurts, guys, and I've been there. Mark has been there. We know how much this hurts.
And Buttercup, that means bad salespeople have shoeless kids. You stop and think about that for a moment. If you're not doing what David was talking about in that previous slide, your kids are going to be flat out shoeless. Now, let's break that down. What was David talking about? Micro commitments. The easiest way to make the whole sales process easier is by getting micro commitments along the way that slowly but surely allow you to turn the key and open the door. The first micro commitment might be, hey, let's get together tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the phone. Hey, take a look at this. Give me some feedback. But it's micro commitments along the way that allow you to close that much easier. You see, there's something really kind of simple here. Nobody buys anything. They only invest. Now stop and think about that for a moment. Nobody buys anything. They only invest. When you show the ROI, the return on investment, they will invest. To me, we're not in the sales business. We're not in the sales business. Marketing is all about creating this platform, creating this level of awareness. This is why Dave and I are so pleased to be doing this together and sharing with you all this, because it's really about how do we mirror these two pieces together. Because my whole objective is to get you to see the ROI, and then they'll invest. Now, the three easiest ways to close, and these are so easy. It really is. One is the assumptive close. It's just, I'm going to assume you close. Great. We'll go ahead and set this up. I'm just assuming that you are going to close. Now, you may be dealing with a high ego person, or maybe you're not quite sure. So then you just put the option close. Well, is it better to start this on September 1st or September 10th? Now, what have I done? I'm allowing them to make the decision, but I'm still in control. And the third one that I like to use is the deadline close. Now, I can't use the deadline close unless I'm dead serious. But the deadline close, if we don't get a decision by tomorrow, it's going to be too late. These three closes, and when I talk with salespeople in every industry I have, these are the three I absolutely zero in, focus in on. And you know what's interesting? If I've done the micro commitments, I've gone through everything that we've been talking about up to this point. And if you were on this session a week ago when we were doing the 5 inverse of this, all of this becomes so easy. It's just the assumptive, the option, the deadline. Because nobody's buying anything, they're investing. David.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and a few more quick tips for you. I mean, as Mark just brilliantly demonstrated, nailing these 5 mistakes, reversing them permanently, is a strong, consistent sales process. It is not an accident. It doesn't happen at random to like lucky rainbow unicorn sellers. It's a proactive process. It's got defined, repeatable, reliable systems and steps that it's built on. It is highly doable, and you can get going on this today, aka right now. So at this point, you've got a choice. And the choice is, we can keep going the old way. You guys can keep going the old way. What does that mean? That means old results, underbooked and underpaid. Keep being confused. We talked about confusion as mistake number 1. Keep spinning your wheels with things like the prospecting, the following up, the pricing, the closing, etc. Still not earning what you deserve commission-wise, income-wise, not reaching the next level of income that maybe you've already had as a goal. Maybe you've tried a whole bunch of things. It hasn't worked. Just can't figure out the password to the secret club of sales pros who are making great money. No guidance, no accountability, no support. It's a hard, lonely road. And again, first 3 years of my business, I'm the guy that didn't reach out for help. I'm the guy that didn't reach out for mentoring. I'm the guy that didn't know what was what. Other option,
or
much smarter.
Or we can end it all today. We can diagnose what's really going on. We can find the strategic gaps, refocus, reframe, reboot, fill in what's missing for you to consistently sell more easily, and more often, and finally earn what you deserve. Fix your marketing, prospecting, and sales process and take back control once and for all. So really it's old way or David.
Old way or new way. Now, here's the deal. We've cooked something up, and it's something pretty special, something pretty cool, but the question is, would you like to hear more about what Mark Hunter and I have in store for you to invite you in so that we can make these fixes permanent? And while you're in the question box, you're given the answer there, would you like to hear more about what we have cooked up? It's called the Summer Sales Seminar, and it's based on the Phoenix Summer Sales Seminar. Mark and I are both proud members of the National Speakers Association. And Cavett Robert is the founder of the National Speakers Association back in the early 1970s. That entire organization started with 35 people around a table in Phoenix, Arizona in the summer of 1969, figuring out how can we do a better job selling? How can we do a better job reaching prospects? How can we do a better job getting higher prices for everyone in this group? And there were 35 people in this group, and we have a 2017 spin on this. But we're not going to tell you about it unless an overwhelming number of people would like to hear about it. Mark, are people interested in what crazy ideas we're cooking up for them?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are typing in. Yes. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So here it is. Summer Sales Seminar, fast forward 2017. This is Mark doing his professional speaking in front of a live paying audience. This is me in front of a live paying audience. This is Mark and me working with some of our clients, working on a live stream video conference call, and someone's doing something that's not making Mark happy right now. It's a prospecting problem. It's a pricing problem. Who knows? Mark has 2 best-selling sales books. I've got 1 best-selling marketing book. We put our heads together just to help you guys. It's called the Summer Sales Seminar 2017. Here's some cool stuff about it. 100% focused on you, your business, your outcomes. Weekly implementation and action steps. Nothing is left out. Nothing is assumed. It is a step-by-step sales, marketing, and business development process based on proven, repeatable, reliable steps. You get clarity, you get focus, you get momentum, and momentum creates revenue. It includes skills transfer, accountability with Mark and with me, and personalized mentoring. Mark talked about the deadline close. We're not here to close anybody. We're here to invite. It does start this week. It starts on Thursday. If you're not in on this by Thursday, you're not in on it. It's over. So Thursday, August 17th, 2 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. It is a 5-week sprint to sales results. 4 weeks of coaching, mentoring, and one-on-one attention. There's a break week. Let's run through what this is. I'll take one. Mark, you take the next one. On Thursday, that's this Thursday, the 17th of August, 2017, we're talking about mastering your marketing, Module 1, tightening your focus, creating your personal and professional brand, identifying areas to improve your online presence, your website, your blog, your LinkedIn profile. Understand the value of partnerships and alliances to immediately springboard your efforts, develop shortcuts to be seen as a thought-leading expert, and finally, building an efficient marketing machine, what I call your perpetual marketing machine, that will start to generate serious leads right in week number 1. Mark, number 2.
Session number 2, which is the following Thursday, same time. We're going to spend time talking about how do you find leads and opportunities. Many of you said that is your big problem. We're going to dive deep into that. I'm going to show you how to prospect easily without fear and anxiety. We're going to talk about crafting your talking points. What should your email plan, your telephone strategy look like? We're going to talk about how do you move leads to become customers. And then we're going to break this apart 2 ways, using scripts and messaging to handle inbound leads that Dave is going to help you create in session 1. And I'm going to show you how to create scripts and message to do outbound prospecting. See, I'm going to show you how to present your fee and get, wow, this is going to be a lot. We're going to have a full session number 2, and mastering tactics to ensure you make time to sell regularly. This session 2 is going to be a lot of meat. David, number 3.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just kind of flipping back and forth here. This is going to be, number 1, a lot of fun, and number 2, just huge transformational value. So session number 3 is building the mindset and the process for you to be successful. And I hate to tell you guys this, but someone needs to tell you, it might as well be Mark and me. The biggest obstacle to you hitting the sales goals that you have is sitting in your chair right now. In fact, it's sitting between your ears right now. So eliminating the barriers in your own mind is going to be critical, absolutely critical, including easily handling objections. An objection is a buying signal. You need to know how to harness it, how to leverage it, how to profit from it. We're going to talk about your referral marketing strategy. We're going to talk about a marketing calendar you can stick with. And we're going to talk about a sales process that is so simple, your head's going to spin. And then we're going to talk about tracking and accountability tools so that A, you know right away when you're off track, and B, you have a whole bunch of strategies from Mark and from me to get you back on track quickly. And then creating an overall personal mindset that is committed to ongoing business growth month after month and year after year.
Then we get to session 4, which we're actually going to skip 1 week because we had Labor Day in there in the US here. And then we go to session number 4, which is the week after. But you're going to need that break week in there to be able to put it into practice.
Work week, implementation week.
Yeah, it really is. It's going to be a work week, because I'll tell you what, you're going to come out of this thing just rocking and rolling. Session 4, creating your action plan and hot seats. We're going to create specific talking points, opening and questioning. Build and practice your skeleton sales script. We'll walk you through that. We'll actually go through that. This group is going to be small enough that we'll be able to do that. Creating your daily sales plan. What does your daily plan look like to fit your schedule? Not somebody else's schedule, your schedule. Developing solutions and response for because you're going to hear objections. How do you deal with them? How to scale your marketing and sales efforts using outside, in other words, are there some outside resources that you can tap into that's going to help you do this? And really keeping your sales momentum even when you don't have time, because we get into peaks and valleys because we get busy, so we don't prospect, we don't market. Hot seats. Did I say hot seats? With live ammo. Now, some of you might be saying, Mark, I love this program. I'm going to jump into it, but hot seats kind of scare me. That's okay. Not everybody has to. Everybody doesn't have to participate in hot seats, but you're going to want to listen in and hear what people are saying, because you're going to learn from it. But for those of you who want hot seats, wow, this is your chance to go one-on-one with David and myself. We're going to evaluate your approach, your messaging, and you're going to learn. Wow, this is going to be huge. This is good. I love it.
Big. So here's what this means for you, gang. This means getting the price that you want on an ongoing basis without having to discount ever again if you don't want to. Creating a sales pipeline that's going to deliver consistent results, not just for the time that we're together, not just for the next 5 weeks, but for the next 5 months, for the next 5 years. We're building a career-long, lifelong capability and competency in you and in your business and in your sales career. Knowing how to remove buyer objections quickly. Imagine if you had the mindset, the skills, the questioning techniques, the peeling back the onion, all of those skills that could diffuse and remove and accelerate your sales process, knowing that objections are simply stepping stones to a closed sale. Speeding up your ability to close sales every single day. Sales happen daily. Mark and I will make sure that your sales happen daily. So you could hire Mark for $15,000 or $1,000 an hour, and I showed you the pictures there of Mark on stage and me on stage. Same thing in my world. You could also keep doing what you're doing. And how much is that costing you? We saw the numbers: 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. Obviously not smart if things are not working. You guys are smart cookies. You already knew that. If you're here with us now, you can hear my voice. You already know that something needs fixing. That's why you're here on this masterclass. And you also know that given what Mark shared, what just I shared in the last 45, 50 minutes, you can absolutely do better. And the key is to unlock your own customized, personalized path and plan to revenue. So here's the money part, folks. Obviously, our program does not cost $15,000, although frankly it should. It's not even $1,000 an hour. It's called the Summer Sales Seminar. It's $19.97. It is not a course. It is not a static bunch of videos. It is not more crap that doesn't work. It is live, real-time, real sales mentoring from me and from Mark. Direct access to us on a week-to-week basis for specific marketing, prospecting, selling, and closing questions. The website to go to right now, and Mark, feel free to type this in if you want to, it's getsss17.com. And there's a coupon code that will get you a little bit of a price break that we're talking about in a second and some fast action bonuses. So you go to getsss17.com, you put in the coupon code, the promotional code, SSS17. Here's what that gets you. When you sign up on this webinar before our Q&A is over, private Summer Sales Seminar members only Facebook group. We got folks in there right now that are getting ready for Thursday's kickoff. Mark, talk about the Maximize Your Price course that's coming up in September that people also get a free ticket to.
Yeah, because what this is a real-time course where I'll be walking you through exactly how do you maximize your price. In fact, we've got 20 different sections. I've been working on the material here today. 20 different sections that we're going to walk you through. And you're going to walk out of it raising your price. And if you don't raise your price, you'll at least be getting your full price every time.
And then I'm also throwing in an additional bonus. And again, fast action bonus when you go right now, right here, before our Q&A is done. Q&A is coming up in a second. GetSSS17.com. That's the big honkin' URL that's on your screen right now. Coupon code SSS17 will take the whole schmagetti from $19.97 down to $14.97. So there it is again, fast action. Promotional code SSS17. Now, the 5 weeks of live mentoring with our Summer Sales Seminar, plus all of these bonuses on this screen. You guys can screenshot this. You can have a look at this. Everything. The course, the bonuses, the mentoring, the Facebook group, the Maximize Your Price program, the Solo Sales Success program. Everything is bundled up in a nice, neat package for you. $14.97. Here's the deal, gang. This is truly not for everyone. So let's just kind of go through who this is for, who it's not for. Then we'll open it up for the Q&A where Mark and I will stay as long as we need to make sure that your sales questions are answered like we promised. It's not for you if building your sales capabilities, skills, and results is not your number one priority right now. If this is not a big deal, you're doing okay, great. You don't need this, you don't want this, that's fine. Number two, you don't know what you want to be when you grow up. So this is not for dabblers. This is not for amateurs. This is not for hobbyists. This is for sales pros. This is for entrepreneurs who want to do a seriously better job at marketing, sales, and business development. It's not for you if you refuse to follow a proven sales process and if you don't want to take action on instructions, because we give you very detailed, very specific templates, tools, and scripts. It's not for you if you refuse to change your low-fee mindset and low-fee sales habits. Obviously, you have to be coachable. We had one of the folks who enrolled last week said, "What if I'm not coachable?" And we answered that question, and he signed up, and he's in with us. So you need to be coachable. You need to be coachable, guys. And then if you're a shady seller and your product or service or program doesn't truly help people or help companies to improve, we are not going to give you weapons of mass sales destruction to go and wreak havoc on the universe. We don't want you in the program. We don't dabble in any of that. This is not for you. Mark, why don't we take us through This Is For You?
Yeah, this is for you. And hey, I got to call out. I got to call out somebody because somebody said, "Hey, you talked about never discounting, but you're offering one." Yeah, you're right. You are right. And the reason David and I are doing this is because we absolutely care about you. We've got too many of our friends who have struggled, and we want to get them over the hump. So in our attempt to get them over the hump, we've kind of opened the door up for you. So you're right, we are. Yeah. So anyway, so hey, this is for you. If you're serious, decisive, and committed, you could be new to selling or a seasoned pro. It doesn't matter. We're going to work with you both ways. And you've got your value prop nailed or not. Now, some of you may not have your value prop. That's fine. We're going to help you do that. Some of you may have your value. You're in full-time or you're planning your escape from your current job. This is the piece that I wish I had had when I kind of made my leap. You've made big sales in the past or not. Yeah, you see, this is really going to fit both ways. But you are willing to follow a proven process to ramp up revenue and take mentorship and direction well. We're going to give you the proven process. I mean, you're going to build it. We're going to show you how you're going to build it, but you got to follow it. And you want to put 10 to 20K in your pocket over the next 30 days and build a predictable flow of clients and cash. And I am sure we're going to have people that will far exceed that 10 to 20K. I know we will. We always do when we do these things.
And those folks will be our next batch of success stories. So if you want to join those success story people, those case study people, the URL, we're just about to go into Q&A right now. It's getsss17.com. The promo code for the fast action bonuses is SSS17. Make sure you enroll before this webinar masterclass ends to get all the fast action bonuses. And I'll tell you why. Mark mentioned about we're trying to help people and really open the door. The other thing is that we do love working with decisive, committed action takers like you. So if what you heard today makes sense and you want to embrace this and adopt it and make it real for you, we are here to help. Personal attention for 5 weeks from Mark Hunter. Personal attention from 5 weeks from yours truly. If you're coachable and ready for a change and committed to making more sales happen at higher prices with way less struggle, this is it, gang. I mean, Mark and I put this together to make it genuinely a no-brainer. Genuinely a no-brainer. So here's what to do now. You're going to go to getsss17.com. You're going to put in that fast action promo code of SSS17. That's going to get you into our 5-week live mentoring. Starts this Thursday, August the 17th, 2 o'clock U.S. Eastern. You will get Mark's Maximize Your Price program. You will get my Solo Sales Success program. You will work incessantly and insightfully and ceaselessly on your marketing, sales, lead generation, prospecting, and closing. And we will give you the templates, tools, scripts, process, and system to make that happen. And what we've baked in here is the 3 ingredients for success. Skills transfer, because you need the skills. Accountability, we need to make sure you're doing the work, peek over your shoulder. Mentoring, hot seats, live ammo practice, so that you build these permanent sales muscles, permanent sales competencies, so you can take results straight to the bank. So let's get to questions. Who's got the first question about anything that we've talked about or anything about the summer sales seminar as we've described it to you? And I think folks are already coming in, which is awesome.
We've already got a couple questions. One person says, I can't come to the first one live or the last one, booked with clients, both those times. Is there an option for me? Yes, that's why you're going to have this ability to download this. And yes, you will have it. You will have it.
Everything is recorded. Everything is online. And then remember, the Facebook group we're throwing in. The Facebook group is open 24/7. The Facebook group, Mark is on the road. I'm on the road. I'm with clients. Mark is with clients. He's in a hotel room. He's on his phone. He's answering your question. He's giving you feedback on your script. He's saying, try it this way, not that way. Change this second sentence to this. I'm coming in saying, listen, here's the marketing. Here's the messaging. Change this word to that word. Change this headline to that. We're actually doing the work in between the sessions to help you. So absolutely. I mean, this is for already successful people. We talked about that. You could be already big in sales. You could be just starting out. We know that not everyone's going to be on every session. That's why it's recorded. And that's why we're adding the Facebook group to support you in between the live mentoring sessions.
Somebody else wrote, will it come with hard copies or a website with all materials? We have got materials for you.
Out the wazoo. The correct answer on the materials and the templates and the scripts. Now, let's be clear. Hard copy means different things to different people. We are not going to be shipping big boxes of binders to your house. So you will get PDFs. You will get Word documents. You will get forms, templates, tools, and scripts in electronic format. And when I've done this in the past, when Mark has done this in the past, people actually make their own binder. They actually print things out on 3-hole punch paper, and they build a binder of our training, our templates, our tools, and then their implementation of it so that everything is referenceable on paper. Sounds like an old school kind of person, which I love. I love paper and pen. I love binders. I love notebooks. I'm an analog guy in a digital world. I totally hear you. So we're providing electronic materials. If you want to put that master binder together, there's going to be plenty of great stuff to latch onto.
Hey, more questions coming in. A couple people say, is there a payment plan? Well, that's what you have a credit card for.
Yeah, so you can do credit card, you can do PayPal credit. I think we've got PayPal hooked up to the shopping cart, Mark. Is that correct?
I believe so. You know what? I'm not sure. I needed to check that out.
Or if not, I mean, you can just drop, can we give out our email address? Maybe.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, you can email me or email David. Well, we'll take care of you.
So it's mark@thesaleshunter.com, mark@thesaleshunter.com, david@doitmarketing.com. I will tell you, Mark is much nicer and much kinder than I am. So if you want, any kind of payment plan or extra little PayPal shopping cart setup or something, ask Mark.
Oh, wow. That's
I know. Well, you're a nice guy. You're a sweetheart. You're a softie.
Man.
I know.
Hey,
questions about the teaching. Let's talk about questions about the teaching, questions about the...
Well, yeah.
What else is coming in?
Somebody wrote, can you clarify how this is different from what I did before? Not that some repeat wouldn't help me.
Who's asking that?
Susan Robertson.
Oh, Susan Robertson. So Susan, so fantastic. So Susan's actually a graduate of our Speaker Profit Formula program, which is totally focused on speakers and speaking. Susan, this is completely different, completely new content. It's all about sales and selling. That's nothing to do with speaking. Now, obviously, the sales strategies are totally relevant for speakers and consultants and coaches and people of that ilk. But Mark's expertise is obviously sales and prospecting. The subset of my expertise is going to be all about sales and marketing and business development, but it's got nothing to do with the speaker world. It's got nothing to do with selling to, well, that's not really true. I mean, it's got nothing to do with selling to associations, but it's got everything to do with selling to associations. It's got nothing to do with selling, training, and coaching to companies, except it's got everything to do with selling, and because you can apply this in whatever business you're in. So we've had people that are coming in here, they're selling water purification systems. They're selling large technology solutions that are in the millions of dollars to CEOs of Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 firms. We've got small business entrepreneurial companies that are selling things for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. So this is content neutral. The program you came from, Susan, is specifically around speakers and a speaking-driven business. So I hope that helps.
Let's see. Somebody else wrote, is there a payment plan? So I guess, David, you were saying, hey, just email me, mark@thesaleshunter.com. How's that sound?
Yeah.
So anyway, somebody else wrote, so after speaking to the client on the telephone, they ask for email info, which I know is a brush off, and do not send out info. What can I do to change the direction of the telephone call? Can I answer this one? Can I answer this one, please?
I'd love you to answer it. I mean, I've got a couple ideas, but go ahead and take it away.
Why don't I jump in with an idea, then you jump in with an idea. When they say, send me an email, I'll ask them and say, well, there's a lot of information I could send you. Help me understand better as to what it is that you're looking for. The objective is to get them talking to a more specific outcome. I will, once I get a specific outcome that they're looking for, send them an email, but I'll say, hey, great. Why don't we arrange time tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock and I can walk you through it. And then what you do is you email them that information at 9:59, just ahead of your phone call.
Yeah, and my 2 cents on this is, remember, phone isn't good, phone isn't bad. Email isn't good, email isn't bad. LinkedIn isn't good, LinkedIn isn't bad. Mark said it on this training today. Multi-touch, multi-method, campaign mindset. Saying, oh, I left a voicemail and they said, can I email? Well, of course you can email. You can email, but I'll tell you what. Can you email me something is either a sign of it's a nice to have and not a have to have. So maybe you didn't quite hit the right chord in your phone message, right? Because if it was urgent, important, get it, need it, want it, get it, need it, want it now, they probably would have responded with something more substantial. Or people are different. Some people love the phone, hate email. Some people love email, hate the phone. So sometimes it's about really getting to their preferred channel of communication, but not with a data dump. Do what Mark is recommending. Ask questions. Go deeper. Diagnostic, trusted advisor type questions will always get you further than trying to make blanket statements or trying to force fit a generic solution onto a client who always has a specific problem.
Hey, a lot of additional questions that are popping in. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. Let me keep is there a payment plan? A couple people are asking that. Does this work for people lower in the food chain, inside sales? Yes, it does. You're going to be focusing much more heavily on the sales piece. But believe me, I come from an inside sales, approach, and we're going to give you a tremendous amount of phone and email information that's going to help you in terms of your wording, exactly what to say, and help you through that. So there may be some elements that you say I don't need, but you know what it is going? You know what this is going to do? It's going to prep you for your next position, also in terms of some other insights. Somebody else writes, excuse me, how many hours a week is this going to take? Well, not more than about 100 hours a week. No, you know what? It really is going to depend on what you want to put into it in terms of the level of ROI that you want to get out of it. If you want to just kind of listen and participate, it's going to take you a couple hours a week. Now, you want to jump in and really make a difference, you're going to spend some time. But I guarantee it, when you get done going through the sessions with us, you're going to want to jump in because you're going to want to put this stuff into action like right now, because you're going to see the results. I mean, believe me, I think David and I, we have one thing in common. Well, we don't have something in common. I was going to say we're both not that smart, but no, David's incredibly smart. I'm not. So believe me, what you learn from me, you'll be able to put into play immediately.
I'm gonna debate that point, but we'll save that for later. We'll save that for later.
Here's somebody else. I'm selling in the public sector. Will you have techniques for that? Yes. Yes, because this really is about the public sector. So yeah, Jim, if you want to kind of explain a little more as to what you mean by the public sector, I'll be happy to answer that for you. But yeah, because we are, and somebody asked me in an email, B2B or B2C, and no, it's H to H. It's human to human. And so it really doesn't matter if it's business to business or business to consumer. It really is about human to human. And we're going to show you those absolute techniques that are going to be there. Is there a money back refund? Well, I'll tell you what, after you make the money, you can actually pay us more money if you want. But I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You do the work, you are going to have the success. There is no ifs, no arguments about that at all.
Well, and let's also be brutally honest here. There's no magic pill. There's no secret, silver bullets. We're going to lay out exactly what to do and how to do it. You're going to get personal access to Mark, personal access to me. Our time is gone. So if you implement, of course you will get results. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
So we can't guarantee your results because we can't guarantee your activity.
Right. Oh, I love this one. What steps would you take to build relationships with prospects who are entrenched with a competitive vendor? That means about 90% of all selling situations out there. Yes, that's why I think David and I have married up together in terms of marketing and sales, because we're going to show you how you create your personal brand, how you create your distinguishable difference, how you leverage yourself. Because when it comes down to it, you are your greatest asset. And in that session number 2, David's got some really cool stuff in there that's going to help you be thinking differently about yourself. Now, what is that going to do? That's going to allow your the competition to suddenly realize, whoa, they've got some real competition. because I'm going to also share with you, this is really, really cool, right out of my own consulting business, little techniques that I've used to steal companies away from my competitors. Ooh, can I do that? Yeah, I'll be happy to share that with you. That'll be coming up in session 4.
Well, and that's the other thing. So let's talk about this for a second, Mark, because you obviously are in the field, marketing, selling, building your personal brand, connecting with buyers every single day. I'm in the field. I'm talking to buyers. I'm fielding calls. I'm closing business. Part of what you're getting in this program is a little bit of inside baseball. Kind of like, what's Mark doing that's working? What's David doing that's working? What are some kind of inside tricks that we ourselves are using in our companies for our marketing and sales and business development effectiveness? We're going to open the kimono, guys. There's no secrets. There's no, oh, that's outside the scope of the course. Oh, we're not going to share that script. Oh, we're not going to give you that template. That's too good. I mean, we're giving you the 100% gold of what's working right here, right now in today's selling landscape. Some of those things are torn straight from the playbook that Mark is using every single day in his 7-figure plus business. Part of what this is me tearing pages out of my playbook for what's working in my 7-figure business today, in today's marketplace, not someday, not in theory, not maybe, not guessing, but working today to get prospects to say yes to us and give us nice, big, beautiful chunks of money.
Hey, another person says, can you speak to your authority in B2E sales, business to enterprise? I wish I could share with you the name of a computer manufacturer that deals exclusively in the enterprise level. And I've done a tremendous amount of work with them, both in their inside sales, their account teams, and their channel partners. So yeah, a lot of my work is in the B2E enterprise sales.
And we just can't give the name because we'd be killed.
We would be killed because of the competitive nature that they are in. Hey, Jim wrote back, selling to government because government is different than private enterprise. Yes, it is. And I'll tell you what, government takes on some really interesting situations because government's all about how do you minimize the downside? How do you minimize the downside? So really having that equity and having that level of confidence is so critical. But I'll take you through, Jim, on the side, some very cool techniques that I've used in the bidding process in terms of government contracts. There was a particular defense contractor that I did a lot of work with a few years ago, and I'll be happy to share. But yeah, but you know what? It is amazing. Once you get beyond the contracts, and the purchasing departments and purchasing department. Oh, but you know what? Buying groups, those pop up in the private sector all the time. So we'll share with you some techniques that are very much applicable on both sides of the fence. So yeah, this is cool. Hey, somebody else wrote, what's the best font and size for email? A size that they can read. No, I personally prefer for email, 12 or 14. And I usually use Calibri, I think it is. I think that's one because it's clear on most smartphones. But I'll either use 12 or 14 font. Why do I have two different ones? Because it depends on the industry I'm going into. If I'm going into a very mature industry, older people, I will use a 14 font. Otherwise, I tend to stick with the 12 font.
Well, and can I just make a little bit of a snide comment here?
Sure.
I don't think font size and selection is your biggest sales problem.
Well, I would hope not. Yeah.
I would actually hope so. I'd be like, oh man, if I change it to Arial 18, I'll be a millionaire. I wish it were that easy. So we may be hyper-focusing on the wrong kind of details here. I just want to point out real quick while Mark and I are talking, and if you were on with us last week, then you know, we specifically wanted to make this week's content a little bit more concise so that we'd have more time for your questions. So if you're still here hanging out, that's exactly why we're here. The clock has run out. We are still here. We will keep this site up. We will keep the registration page going for as long as we're talking here. So you want to go to getsss17.com. put in the promo code SSS17. That's how to get the fast action bonus while we're still talking. You're getting the Maximize Your Price course, the Solo Sales Success bonus course, everything that you need from me, from Mark, for the next 5 weeks. Starts on Thursday, this Thursday, 2 days from today, August 17th. You're getting the skills transfer, the accountability, and the mentoring to make sure that this time you are successful. Even if you've bought other sales training and sales coaching before, you've never experienced anything like this. The level of personal attention, personal access, and personal mentoring. I mean, it's nutty. It is nutty what we're giving away for basically peanuts. And I say that with love and respect. I know $14.97, it might not be peanuts to some of you guys listening, but I'll tell you, once you're in with us, it will be. It will be. It will be peanuts, because we will expand your sales and your sales capabilities to the point where the folks that don't sign up will have some serious buyer's reverse remorse. Whatever buyer's reverse remorse is, you're going to have it if you don't get in on this, so that we can help you really move the needle on your sales results.
And people are ordering right now. So if you're having problems getting through on it, take just a moment. It will process the order. Somebody wrote that, hey, what do you do when your boss is not someone who can mentor or provide feedback, and you're not financially in the position to afford SSS? You need to get a different job. That's what you need to do. Because I'll tell you what, people don't quit companies, they quit their bosses. I'll be very point blank. You got to go someplace else.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Mark has a team. I have a small team. We spend most of our quote-unquote sales management time in that exact mode, that we're mentoring, we're coaching, we're helping, we're guiding, we're teaching, we're training. I'm in the process of hiring a salesperson right now, and I'm kind of dreading it because I know how much time is going to be spent in coaching and mentoring and getting this person up to speed so that they're successful. And I'm going to back up my friend and colleague here and say, if you're not getting the coaching and mentoring and professional development to be successful, it may be time to write your own ticket. And one of the ways to write your own ticket is to find the money, right? Find some investment, find some line of credit, use PayPal credit, use, whatever, secret little pots of money you've been hiding for a rainy day, and join us, because you're about to have a major upgrade to your sales career.
Somebody wrote, don't see PayPal on the payment option. I apologize. I thought we had it on there. Email me, mark@thesaleshunter.com. I can't do 3 things at one time. My staff is not with me right now in this room I'm in. Email me, mark@thesaleshunter.com. We will get it taken care of ASAP for you.
And then I'll just pop this here in the chat again. Mark at the sales.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, somebody wrote, it's tough. I can't quit. I have a family to take care of. I totally understand where you're coming from. Sometimes though, I tell you what, I was in that boat when I left my corporate job. I left with no parachute, no nothing. And it was as scary as can be. But you know what? It's kind of like the bird getting pushed out of the bird's nest. It seems like you're going to fall and you're going to crash and burn. But you know what? Partway down that fall, the wings take hold and you start to fly.
Yeah.
Some of the other best resources out there, of course, are on my website. And I know David. And hey, the book, Do It Marketing. It just happens to be a very good book written by David Newman. High Profit Selling, High Profit Prospecting. 2 books that I wrote. Excellent, good resources.
And people may very well have these books, and they've been having a problem operationalizing the principles and practices. And that's that we're doing this, right? Believe me, guys, if weight loss were in a book, we would all be thin. If sales and marketing were in a book, and that was the magic pill, we would all be multimillionaires. You guys might need some help with the application, repetition, reinforcement, guidance, and mentoring to take those ideas and implement them successfully in your business, in your company, in your sales career. So it's not about, hey, we have these great books, we're really smart guys, we're really handsome, we really smell awesome, we smell great. I'm smelling like lavender around here. It's not about that. It's about how can we make you successful, not with ideas, but with implementation. Not with ideas, but with mentoring. Not with ideas, but with live ammo, repetition, reinforcement, application over the next 5 weeks so that we take you from average to awesome in your sales results. And that's what this is about. Other questions. Here's a question. Al is saying, how about throwing the books in as a bonus? Wow. Al, let me ask you again, commitment for commitment. If you sign up, I'm talking to Al Ramirez. Mark, you want to do your best DJ voice on Al Ramirez?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Al Ramirez and
Al
David
Ramirez, when
Newman.
you sign up, you personally, you alone, when you sign up at getsss17.com, put in the promo code SSS17, hop in with us, $14.97, which I know you're going to do. Assumptive close. See that, Mark?
I love it.
I will personally send you 3 copies, three of the books. Mark has 2 books. I have 1 book. You will get High Profit Selling. You will get High Profit Prospecting. You will get a copy of Do It Marketing. But that's if you buy it right now. I want commitment for commitment. I'm spending like $75 on Amazon for this guy, so I want the sale now, right? Value selling, micro commitment, conditions, right? We're not discounting. He asked, I'm saying yes if. Yes if is a negotiating strategy. Yes, I'll send you 3 books.
And can I do full disclosure, David?
Go ahead.
I already sent him a private note that, yes, I'll do that for you.
Gosh darn you. We had the whole good cop, bad cop thing going, and you blew it.
I'm sorry. It's called integrity.
Well, Al, here's the deal. When you don't sign up, you don't get the books. When you do sign up, you do get the books. It's in your hands, my friend. It's in your hands.
There you go. I love it.
It is totally in your hands. Yeah, and so this is the beauty of when you make an offer, right? People act on it, they get the reward. When you make an offer, people do not act on it. Obviously, they do not get the reward. But I just love the Al's going to be fun to work with. Al's going to be great because Al's already in the mix. He knows the power of asking. He knows the power of, sellers know how to work with sellers. Sellers also need to know how to work with buyers.
That's the whole thing about sales. That's the whole thing about sales, knowing how to ask for the order.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to ask for the order, why should anybody do business with you? But the reason a lot of people don't ask for the order is because they don't have enough confidence in themselves as to why to ask for the order.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough confidence because, whoa, we got to go all the way back to the beginning. What's the outcome that you provide people? How do you help people? Why do you help people? That is the element of providing you the confidence to do what you do, to ask for the order.
Right. Absolutely. So Susan Robertson, my client and friend here, says, I have a call on Friday with someone who was referred to me by someone else who heard me speak. It's for an association, internal meeting, not for members. I always think they don't have money. I already feel myself second guessing my fee. Any strategies or tips how to shut off that memo in my head? And I'm going to go to my high profit selling partner. How do we turn off that negative tape in our head that I have to go in discounting from day one?
Well, the negative way to turn that off is to say, hey, who is this that I'm speaking to? What's the outcome? This is what I do. In fact, I had a phone call like that this morning. Okay. Somebody wanted me to come in and do some work for them. I asked them the questions. What are the challenges they're facing? How much is it going to cost them? I got them to come to the table with a dollar amount as to what this problem is going to cost them. And suddenly my fee was chump change compared to the outcome. Did I close the deal right then? Just about. He had to get one more level of approval. But that's how you get rid of the voices. You let the customer make the decision for you.
And Susan, remember, I mean, your expertise is in customer experience and value. And when you're talking to an association for an internal meeting, what they're really concerned about is member recruiting, member retention, and member engagement. Couch everything in terms of the ROI, like Mark said on today's training, ROI that matters to them. And the numbers, like Mark just said a second ago, are going to be astronomically in your favor. If you can't deliver $50,000 to $100,000 of value on day one and then on a monthly basis after that, they weren't paying attention. They weren't even awake. So is that worth $7,500, 10 grand, 12 grand? Sure it is. You know, you give me $12,000, I will give you $100,000 back. Who wouldn't take that deal all day long? But guess who the first person is that needs to believe it, right? And again, I wish I had this quote nailed down. I mentioned that it was on one of the slides. No one's going to hold your products and services to a higher value than you. So you need to know it's awesome. You need to know that it's high profit and high value, and they will come along. Sales is a transference of confidence. Mark talked about C plus C plus C plus O equals P, or something like that. The C's, the O's,
Very good.
right? The transfer of confidence is the creation of opportunity and the generation of profit. But you have to have the confidence before you can transfer it. All right. So did you see the? I'm laughing because, of course, it's symptomatic of so much of sales. Mark, did you happen to see Steve's question? The last question?
Yes. What can you do for someone who doesn't believe in the service they are selling? It's not what you're selling. It's the outcome you create. What's the outcome? I get asked to do a lot of work for companies that I really don't buy into the service that they do, but the outcome they create, how do they help others? That's what you focus in on. That's what you focus in on.
Yeah. And it's tricky because obviously, you know, there's inputs and outputs. And if we're all focused on the inputs, like, well, I don't think that's the best way. You know, it's like people say, well, what if I'm selling Yellow Pages advertising, right, in the paper book, which I guess is now all digital anyway. But say, well, I don't really believe in Yellow Pages advertising. I get a lot of pushback. I get a lot of rejection. I get a lot of objection. You know what? What's the outcome? More business, more leads, more sales. Do you believe that the value of more business, more leads, more sales? Yes. Do you believe in being findable and being reachable by the public that you're trying to serve? Yes. Do you believe that that's what they want and that that's what they need and that will truly be helpful to them if they got that outcome? Yes. Well, so it's a reframing exercise, isn't it? You got to reframe your inputs, which is what Mark just said, in terms of the outputs that matter to you and that you can genuinely get behind and feel good about delivering those outputs. All right.
And
anything else? Other questions? We can answer questions about our 5-week experience that starts on Thursday. People are going right now to getsss17.com. They're putting in the magic promo code SSS17. Mark and I promise to stay here till we outnumber you. We're well 30, 40 minutes after the content ended, and we still have 50 fabulous people here, so God bless you guys. I'm not sure why you're here. If you're not signing up, why are you here? Why are you here? We need you in the program. We want you in the program. This is such a no-brainer. It's going to be massively, massively helpful to you. And again, why am I so passionate and full of conviction? Well, I better be. It's my program. Mark better be. It's his program, right? No one's going to value our program higher than we do. So part of what you're getting, I mentioned to open the kimono, we're also modeling. We're modeling the attitudes and behaviors and traits and characteristics that you need to believe in your outcomes so strongly that when people don't buy from you, and I don't know, Mark, if this is true for you, it's certainly true for me. I'll speak as the sole egomaniac here. I actually feel sorry for people that do not buy from me. Not necessarily this program, although it certainly applies here, but in my main programs that I make my primary living with, I actually feel sorry for people who say no to me because I see the transformation in awesome folks like Susan Robertson, who made like $11,000 within 5 or 6 weeks of starting our program, and who continues to crush it, continues to have high value meetings, and again, we still work on the mindset. We still got to get Susan back in the mindset gym. That's all good. That's all cool. You got to keep working those muscles so they don't atrophy. But I believe in my program because I've seen people come through the program with massive success. And that just makes me more excited for prospecting, more excited for marketing, more excited to get my price, claim my price, yell it loudly and proudly from the rooftops, and help more people. If you want to help more people, this is the program for you. If you want to serve more people, this is the program for you. It's what Mark does all day. It's what I do all day. And we've got a real bunch of rock stars signing up to join us. And I'm super excited.
Yeah. And because it's in a real short time frame, you start to get the ROI faster. I think that's the beauty about this. So many times you sign up for a program, but it takes you a year or two to walk through it. Yeah. This one, literally, it starts Thursday, and come September 10th, boom, you're off and running. Yeah. And so that's going to get, it's kind of funny. You can almost get, and this is almost, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but you could almost get this thing paid for with new money that you've earned even before the credit card bill is due. How's that? Okay, that can get me in trouble for saying something like that. But really, if you think about it, the ROI can come very, very quick.
Yeah, if you work it, this is like anything else. If you work the plan works. Mark and I, we share the love of saying something along the lines of, it is amazing the results you do not get from the work that you do not do. And that's certainly true in marketing. It's certainly true in sales. It is amazing the results you do not get from the work that you do not do. When you do the work, that opens the floodgates to the momentum and the action steps and the results.
Well, and I think that's why you and I both struggled initially.
Oh, big time.
Because we failed to do what was necessary to get to that next level. Yeah. Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. So anyway, but Thursday, 2:00 Eastern time, this whole thing kicks off.
Exciting.
And I'm jacked. Yeah.
I'm jacked. I'm pumped. I'm psyched. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm primed. Put me in, coach.
Yeah. Al has said, Al wrote back to me. He said, I already have your book. I'm going to autograph it and send it back to me. So that's fine, Al.
Very nice. I love it.
I love it. Al, we'll see you. We'll see you in the program. He's already a member of my coaching program. So this is cool. He's gonna get a double dip.
Yeah, we got the friends and family program here. We got Al, we got Susan, we got Mike Moore, we got the whole kind of friends and family fan club going here. So thank you guys for coming today. For the folks that were on with us last week, thank you for coming to that. We can't wait to work with you inside the Summer Sales Seminar program. It's going to be really transformational, fantastic, and fun. I mean, let's face it. If it's not fun, you're probably not doing it right. Probably not doing it right. Mark, anything else before we wrap it up?
No, but I'll tell you what, the biggest impact you're going to make is when you go out and transform your business to allow you to make a greater impact with those who need to hear your message. Whatever it is that you sell, whatever it is you do, your level of success is only going to be measured by what you do right now.
That's it, folks. Do it. Hashtag do it. Do it, do it, do it. All right, team. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, team. We'll see you inside the program.
Thank you.